Here we are. Hey, welcome. We're delighted to be back here at the Actors Initiative. And let's see how much. I'm not sure if we have people in the house. I'm assuming we are. I'm not seeing any numbers, but nonetheless, hi, I'm Jeffrey Weissman. I've been away for the last couple of Actors Initiatives, but I got caught them in replay, and we had some really great guests. Catherine from the SAG office and our other guests I need to thank them for joining us. As you know, if you've been with us in the past, we've had actors D.B. Sweeney and Kirk Baltz and director Mark Herzig, among many other wonderful people in the industry. And tonight is no different. We have two wonderful guests joining us. Director Nino Mancuso and actor Sean Wing. If they want to come into the studio, please welcome them. We also have some announcements here. Just want to let everyone know that the 26th annual Sacramento Film Festival is on beginning in May. And the first event will be the 48-hour film festival. The program you can sign up. It's going to be launched on May 4th. Yes, May the 4th be with you. Sign up details, of course, at www.californiafilm.net. And also, if you are interested in seeing more of our guests this evening at that same website at californiafilm.net, if you go to the 2020 NorCal All-Stars Part 1, you'll see Nino's film Play, which Sean is also in, which is, if you haven't seen it, it's fantastic. Nino is the winner of the shorts competition for the film festival, both in 2019 and 2020. And Jordan, let's bring him on. Jordan is our behind the scenes tech guy. Thank you very much for helping us, Jordan. Jordan Globerson, for those of you who know him. And well, I will chat until our guests arrive. As you can see, I'm growing my pandemic fur for a role. I'm actually playing an old miner character in a series that I'm doing the pilot for, Mark Twain's American History. Jordan, you want to bring Nino and Sean in? Yeah, here we are. Ooh, nice.
Creepy.
Hello. How's it going?
Welcome to the Actors Initiative, gentlemen.
Thank you very much for having us.
Thank you very much.
We're delighted that you're here, especially thrilled because I got to see two of your films just today, in fact. And both you guys, Sean as an actor and Nino as a filmmaker, you're incredibly adept. You have, without having any spoilers, I know your full name is Lawrence, Nino?
Yeah, I mean, people call, I've been called Nino my whole life. So, yeah, my legal name is Lawrence, if that makes it, if anyone cares.
Well, I'm not going to call you Larry. Nino, do you have a way with actors that you're getting performances that are really multi-leveled in challenging material, because you have both comedy and drama mixed in with this farce and horror? It's just delightful, and I really I'm thrilled. I can't wait for everyone to see in just a moment your winner. It was the winning short from 2019.
That's correct. Yeah, we were fortunate enough to be participate, and really humbled to be recognized. It was a great festival, and I met a lot of great filmmakers that year too. So
can you so the name of the film, if there are children in the house, please plug your ears.
Earmuffs, everyone. I know Jake Gyllenhaal is going to fuck my girlfriend.
Yes, and Did you write the piece as well?
No, so and this is where I should add that a lot of credit for the success of the film and from what people get from it is to Sean. Actually, Sean wrote it.
Oh.
It was his brainchild, his insecurities that all went into that. And you mentioned bringing performances out of actors. Like the one rule is just cast well. And Sean said I couldn't cast anybody else, so he made me use him, and it was a good choice.
It's in my contract that I'm in all my pieces, and I refuse to let anyone else say my words but myself.
So you're basically using the model of the big agency CAA, William Morris Endeavor. That
we just it's pre-packaged. When I approached Nino, it's already got me involved as the writer and as the star.
Great. Get you a couple more credits, and you'll get added 10% of each one. Yes,
I better.
We all did catering, yeah.
We actually do cater our own things. It's true.
But before we speak about this year's winner or 2020's winner play, let's take a look at 2019's winner. Jake Gyllenhaal Wants to Fuck My Girlfriend.
That's close enough.
Close enough for country. That's good.
Okay, here we go.
Cheers.
What do you want to eat? Sis, what do you want to eat?
Oh, I don't care. Wherever.
Okay. Fred's it is. You love that movie.
It was so good.
Good. I have never seen you that emotional at the end of a movie.
Well, it was more his performance.
Who?
Oh, the guy who the movie was about?
You love Gyllenhaal. Yeah, I thought he was good. I actually really liked the girlfriend. I thought that she was really subtle.
She didn't really have that much to do. Her stuff wasn't that hard.
See, I think that's harder. You know, having to play opposite kind of like an over-the-top performance like that.
It wasn't over the
balance it
top.
out. You know what I mean? It was just like a bit showy.
You know what, baby? Actually, my stomach hurts. I feel like we should just go home. I don't really want to eat.
Oh. You okay?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, just...
Okay.
Thank you. Oh, baby, I'm sorry. My tummy still kind of hurts.
Hmm. Can you be some Tums?
No, I'm okay.
Okay. And then
Okay, baby, I'm out.
Got your coffee.
Thank you.
How's your tummy?
Oh, yeah, it's fine. It's fine. Better.
Love you back.
Love you both. Bye.
Fuck do you spell his name?
So everything is good and tracking. Just this Ilka scene, it feels, I don't know, it just doesn't feel real. Feels like two dudes trying to write what an amazing female would sound like, but we don't actually know what an amazing female sounds like. You're not listening to me.
Oh, sorry. Susie texted. Yeah, no, I agree. It's too obvious. It's just hard to not write the manic pixie dream girl with all those like tropes.
Yeah, that's what we need to work on. What's up?
Just Susie is teaching, and I think some sort of celebrity came in or something.
Who?
Yeah, that's what I asked. I'm just waiting for her to respond.
You know, maybe we should just scrap the whole scene and start again.
Yeah. Let's do that.
Hey, are you ready? We're like super late. I told them we'd be there in 20.
I just have to put a shirt on.
How was writing?
Good. It's pretty good. We're starting over with one of the characters, which is kind of a step backwards, but I think it's gonna be better.
Well, that's good.
Oh, you never told me who came into yoga today.
Oh, yeah. I forgot. The girl you like so much from the movie.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Did you tell her I have a crush on her?
I didn't talk to her, but if she comes in again, I'll let her know.
Good. I would like for her to know that.
Okay, let's go.
And she was like, who doesn't need folic acid?
Oh my God.
Is that, like, relevant? That's so bizarre. We saw the best movie. What was that movie called?
Rainy
Day. Did you guys see that? God, so good. So sad. I was like sobbing uncontrollably.
Oh, she was really crying.
You were too, Pete.
It was allergies.
How could you not cry in that movie? You'd have to be some sort of robot.
Talk to Robot Sean.
I was moved. I didn't cry or anything, but I was very emotionally connected. I thought it was a really, really, really well done film, and I loved the girlfriend.
Gyllenhaal, right?
He was so fantastic.
Oh my God. We have this thing where we can sleep with a celebrity we meet.
I get Johansson.
Mine used to be Franco, but Pete says we do get an update. One update. Gyllenhaal. Oh my God. Who would yours be?
Probably Gosling.
Gosling. Oh, nice one, Eddie. Here's to Gosling. No Gyllenhaal. I mean.
Hey,
Love you.
you wearing makeup?
What?
You put on makeup for work?
No. I didn't wash my face last night. It could just be left over. Bye.
I mean, the fact is, it's his story, but we have like too much going on with her. And then like we hit the catalyst and they fall in love, or like he falls in love with her. And we still haven't really seen that happen. We're seeing it too much from her perspective. And I don't know, I think like with this scene, I think as far as perspective goes, the key is to write his first. Like just his emotional life. We experience him as he's falling. And she can literally just be sitting there saying nothing. And he can be falling in love with like the way she bites her lip or some shit. Dude, what's going on? You okay?
I'm sorry, I don't really know what's going on right now.
You want to break for a bit?
So you excited to meet this girl?
Yeah, I am. Hey, are you sure you want to go to this thing?
Yes, of course. It's gonna be really fun, okay?
I know, sorry, I'm just really tired. Just drinking a lot of coffee with Samir, but it's okay, I'll rally.
Oh no, baby. Do you not wanna go?
No, I do.
Because if you don't wanna go, I don't mind going alone.
I go alone, do you?
Maybe. Quit being a pussy, get dressed. Let's go.
Oh my god! Hi! Oh, this is amazing. Thank you so much for coming.
Yes.
Is this your husband or?
Oh, no, we're not married. This is Sean, my boyfriend.
We're not married, but we're happy. Yeah, it's good to meet you.
Oh, you too. Yeah.
You painted these?
Yeah. This is me. It's my passion. I was a painter before the film, and then Jake saw one of my paintings and somehow knew I could do the role.
Shut up.
Yeah. I mean, no one believed in me. He had to fight for me. It's just.
Do you want to grab a drink? I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
No, it's okay. You should get a drink because it's an open bar, and you guys should just
Okay.
get wasted.
Do you need anything?
No, I'm good. I'm good.
Why are you being weird?
I'm not being weird. I'm just if you wait too long to get a drink, then all that's left is like some schnapps and prosecco. I'm not feeling very well. You sure you want to stay?
Zeus, this is Jake.
Hi.
Hi.
It's very nice to meet you, Suze.
And this is her boyfriend, Sean.
Hey, man.
It's Jake.
Yeah. Well, hey, listen, it was a pleasure meeting both of you. You guys have a lovely night.
He seemed nice.
Yeah.
What do you want to drink? Suze, what do you want to drink?
Oh, anything.
Anything. I love you.
Bravo, bravo.
Je t'aime, je t'aime.
Je t'aime. Oh, this song.
You wouldn't believe how much.
We went to a great deal of trouble with this tune. We can discuss.
Why never to use copyrighted music ever.
I don't know if we're ever gonna use a known song ever again in any other
But
project.
I must have that song in my movie.
It's so good, and it ends the piece perfectly. But man, oh man, it's actually held us back in a lot of areas
Yeah, missed some good opportunities because of that.
because we couldn't get the rights.
The limited rights, was it?
Well, we got the rights. That was the most frustrating thing. Is we went to the who was it? Both
Distribution and
distribution and the other one.
record label.
Record label. Yeah, we went to both of them and got the rights from both and paid a fair deal for it. And then it got flagged on the channel that we were putting it on YouTube. We went, okay, it's probably misunderstanding. No big deal. And YouTube, like, you go to appeal and you say, appeal. And then they came back and said, no, we're going to uphold it. And we're like, but we have papers. We have both. We have both papers. And then the channel we were on is like, we don't want the legal fight. And we're like, well, fine.
It was very frustrating ordeal. It lasted, honestly, probably a year. We were talking, going back and forth.
Yeah. Yeah.
With one YouTube short film platform, which has a large audience, and we wanted to showcase it there to get more eyeballs on it. And it just was a very sad, long process to a very sad conclusion. We didn't get a platform it there.
Oh,
Yeah.
dear God. So you had the rights from the publisher, the distributor, the record company, the artists, and yet it still got slack.
We
Correct.
jumped through every hoop, and it still didn't work. So
Showbiz. What are you gonna say?
YouTube. It's not
Really?
even. It's
YouTube.
it's like showbiz adjacent is the more problematic area.
I hope you guys can see the comments section of you got people like Josie saying awesome, loved it. Lots of
Great.
people
I
saying
can't see it. I'm sorry.
What a film. Fatima says, and Larry says this film is awesome. I think it was awesome too. And is it Angela Trimber?
Trimber, yeah. Susie.
What a talent.
She's fantastic. She's a buddy of mine, but she's in some really cool projects, and I don't know if anyone follows her, but she's like a whole Hollywood icon of dance at this point. She's like started all these like dance troupes and stuff, and I encourage anyone to go on Instagram and look up Angela Trimber and just see what she does, because she's this really incredible leader, like dance leader, that just does the most interesting stuff. Has huge dance parties with like huge like guided dances and stuff. She's really cool and very, very talented, and she was so generous to lend her talent to this project. She said yes. Pretty much just after reading it, she was like, "Yeah, I'll do it."
Did you have a life experience that inspired you to write this?
Yes. So I'll try to tell the quick version. It's really interesting how this came about. I have, and I still have actually, these recurring nightmares that I think are so interesting, because the nightmare basically is I know what's going to happen by the end of it, and it's really, really bad. But it's just this slow, like waiting. It's like this slow walkthrough of things that are guiding me exactly to the thing. Like if it's a dream where I get stabbed in an alley, my friend will be like, "Hey, let's go back there in the alley," and I'm like, in my head I know it's bad, but I can't stop myself from marching on. It's so terrifying. So I had these nightmares, and I was like, I want to do something that's like this because it's interesting. And I knew I wanted to do something sort of comedic because I just like comedy. So I have that idea in the back of my head. I'm going to the coffee shop that I start to work at. I like to work really early. As soon as it opens at 6 a.m., I'm the only one in the coffee shop. And that's when I love to work. I'm sitting down trying to think about what I'm going to write. My brother had texted me about the movie Enemy. I don't know if you've seen it or if you've heard of it. Well, the end of Enemy has this really ambiguous, weird ending, and my brother knows that I love ambiguous, weird endings. So I'm watching these like sort of like ending explained of this movie Enemy with Jake, that stars Jake Gyllenhaal. And all of a sudden, and I'm seeing who the director is. Yorgos, I'm blanking on his last name. He also did Blade Runner, but I'm the only person in this coffee shop. I'm watching these clips of this director and clips of Enemy, which is this kind of like surrealist piece. All of a sudden, the director, Yorgos, walks into the, and he's French, by the way, lives in France, walks into the coffee shop. And my head just starts spinning. It feels very serendipitous. I remember that I had an encounter with Jake Gyllenhaal with my ex-girlfriend, whose name is Susie, at a concert, standing outside a concert, waiting to go in. We're in the, the lesser people line. He's like being ushered through the VIP. They lock eyes. They make eye contact. And I was like in my head I love Arcade Fire, but I couldn't concentrate the whole time. I was just like, what was that? It was really intense. So all of those pieces all came together that one morning. I wrote it in like an hour. It just like flooded out of me. I just thought it was such a funny, but it was sort of like a three-pronged thing with that weird serendipitous moment with the director of Enemy, the interaction I had with Jake Gyllenhaal, and those dreams that I had. That's kind of how it manifested.
Judging from the typos, now that makes sense how fast you wrote it. Okay.
Yeah. Well, sometimes they just write themselves, and
Sean's a fluid writer.
It sort of did.
Yeah.
But yeah, I kind of wrote it. I almost wrote it as a short story. The script version is all in my head. The script version is actually like the inner dialogue of me, like long monologues where I'm just talking shit about Jake Gyllenhaal and how I think he's a hack actor, but I'm jealous of him, and like it's like monologues that never showed up in the piece, and that's what we were really concerned about when I gave it to Nino, who understood immediately like what to do with it. I was like, I'm worried it's not going to translate, because we thought the script was so funny because you could hear my inner dialogue. But luckily Nino knew like how to capture it just in these long shots, where I'm thinking all of that dialogue, like in that long like pan out of me. I'm going through the monologues that I had in the script.
I made sure he memorized them too. I punished him. You wrote all this, dude. You better be thinking in your head.
Yeah, crack that whip.
Yeah, he's a dictator of a director.
So tell us, Nino, how did you guys meet?
Yeah, we met through friends just down here in Los Angeles, mutual friends. I think Sean was involved in a theater company. My wife designed a show, I think at the same theater company. We had mutual friends, the guy who played Samir in the film, Amar.
Your wife designed my show that I was in.
That's right.
Big Death and Little Death. Yeah. That's
right. And so we kind of met through mutual friends. I always admired his work. And I think, I literally, I just reached out and said, Sean, do you have any scripts? Do you have any shorts you want to make? And he sent me like 3, and this was the first one I read, and I like, this can't be real. And I'm reading it, and like you said, I'm cracking up because so much of the action line and the narrative, between the dialogue is so, it's narrated really. And so afterwards we had that sort of like, is this going to come across? Because like there's so much that isn't in the shooting script. So we had to find a way to just to make sure that everything was flowing visually. Because it's just wild. We should put that up somewhere online so people can read just how paranoid you really were, Sean.
Well, is it possible that this is a seed for a feature script?
I'm working on the feature. I have sort of a first draft vaguely finished. I thought about ways to develop it many different directions, many different times, and then last year during the pandemic I was like, no excuses, obviously. So I just sat down and I was like, what if I just take the short and I just stretch the short into a feature? What would that be? And maybe it'll just be an exercise. So that's kind of what I've done. It needs a lot of work, but I would very much love to do a feature version because I still think it's very funny, and kind of a concept that people haven't really done. It's certainly not in a feature. So yeah.
All you need to do is get Jake on board, to play himself.
That would be greenlit so fast. I still haven't heard. I'm twice or 3 times removed from Jake in many different circles, but no one has told me if he's seen it, what he thinks. I don't know. I can't imagine he hasn't at least heard of it at this point. It was, it was Vimeo staff picked and it got a lot of views. I'm sure someone tweeted it at him at some point or something.
Well, you could send it to his agent.
Well, I mean, certainly if we...
We don't want to get sued just yet, Jeffrey. We don't want to get sued just yet. Let's see how far we can run with this thing, all right?
But the thing is, and what we tell everyone is it's a tribute.
You're using my ponytail. You owe me.
Well, the ponytail, the funny thing is that was when I had the exchange with him, he was like Prince of Persia ponytailed out. Or I don't even think he was shooting Prince of Persia, but he just grows his hair out long sometimes, and he had that man bun. So when we were trying to find like a double for him, I was like, we have to get the man bun because it's too... That was my experience. We got to get man bun Jake.
My wife has started putting my hair in a ponytail too. There's a few questions. One, Josie, he did answer your question. That was Arcade Fire.
Yeah, Arcade Fire. Yeah.
Was the concert. Can we expect to see Sean in any of Nino's future work?
That's up to Nino. He's just gonna have to.
We'll see how he. No, I mean, everything I write now at this point or work on, as you do more and more of these, and these shorts are really become these passion projects, and you find people who you like to work with. Sean immediately was someone who I enjoyed. I could tell working with just from the first project. There's just a shorthand there. There's a trust too. He's one, extremely talented. 2, extremely modest.
He's never said either of those things.
Never go hand in hand. But so I obviously, whenever we have a short right now that we're gearing up for that.
Yeah, we're hoping to shoot something that we've had ready to shoot for a year, and the pandemic hit.
We're just waiting till October. I mean, I've obviously the short from this year, A Play, was something that he had co-written with another good friend. So we developed this kind of like this ensemble feel, and everyone understands everybody. There's no sort of coming together and like, okay, let's have a table read and see if we all get along. We just get it, and everybody, the dynamics there. So I would, obviously, Sean, if you'll have me. I'd love it.
Nino's great for me because I'm a very space cadet-y kind of like he really balances out the things that I very glaringly, brightly lack. I have a lot of things that I need to work on as far as productivity and creativity goes.
It's an artist temperament. It's great. It takes a community. I in the Actors Initiative in previous meetings, I've tried to drive home. Keep 2 journals. One for your creative. If you're working on a character, or if you're a writer, your story thoughts or what have you. And if your other journal would be your business, which may have your branding stuff or your connections. When you're working on any project, whether it's a student grad project or you're on a professional set, and you're working well with people and you're seeing those that are driven, see if you can stay in touch. If you can get someone's email or their production office or even their home number, 9 times out of 10, they're going to say, sure, stay in touch, because those are the people that eventually are going to keep working, and hopefully you can plug into those future projects.
Yeah,
for sure.
I keep 2 journals, one that if something happens to me is the public one, and one that my wife is supposed to burn. So.
Oh yeah. My burning one is up to 100,000 words.
That's going to be a big fire.
It's going to be electrical.
I just saw a comment pop up. Yeah, Sean did write A Play. He co-wrote it with another with Paul Whitten.
2 friends, Paul Whitten and Mara Marini.
Mara Marini, who also scar in it. Yeah.
And that came about. I mean, maybe we don't want to talk about it because people haven't seen it, but that
Right.
was.
I think we might be talking about that at another point, Mark.
Oh, okay.
Maybe.
Well, I won't dive too much into it, but basically,
Sorry.
Paul and I go and see a lot of theater, and we have a lot to say about like a lot of the. I mean, you must know, Jeffrey. I mean, it's like such just a joy. If they're really great, it's a joy. If they're really bad, it's a joy. And we just kind of wanted to celebrate that in a short film. You know, about kind of like when you get invited to see your friend's probably bad show. But it's all subjective. I mean, one man's bad show is another man's incredible show, or woman's incredible show, and we play with that in the piece too.
Yes, and so let me just reiterate for those of you who are now intrigued, Play is available on the californiafilm.net.
It's called a Play, actually, but Play is a great title too.
I beg your pardon. That might be the Samuel Beckett version. So you can see it there at California Film Foundation, the 2020 NorCal All Stars Part 1, and that's californiafilmfoundation.net. I loved it. From the moment of your faces in the audience to the realization at the end, and without spoilers, I just loved it, and everyone in it played so earnestly, were so dedicated to their parts. The author in particular, and of course the girl, your actress friend, who you came to see. So many times I have been in that actual position with friends' shows that were just.
What do you say?
I usually try to leave at intermission, but I don't want to do the spoiler thing. So let's just leave it, because hopefully people are getting hungry from seeing first this film, and Play is only 10 minutes long, and a Play is only 10 minutes long, and it's so worthy. It's got some great twists that I just adored. Yeah. Oh.
Well, also, you know, piggybacking off what you were saying, we like to cast. At this point, I think we probably just know more sort of dramatic actors, but we write comedy, but we want the comedy to be really real. So we don't really cast comedy people. Not that we really know them anyway, but
yeah.
we try to cast like real kind of dramatic actors. It's kind of the Zucker brothers formula of like with Airplane. It's funnier if you have like a dramatic person doing very earnestly a comedic circumstance. So like I love everyone's performance in that is just so funny to me. Even you know, Rodney, who plays, I mean, no spoilers, but the aardvark, who just like is so passionate in just a tiny little role. It's just I love it. It's so great when you write these things and people show up.
How you positioned him, you know, how you positioned him is like he's doing almost something perverse behind you guys.
He's floating. He's just one of those like floaters that just wants to be complimented. You know, he just wants to talk about the play.
Yeah. That was a challenge because we're all in one space for the whole time. And how do you keep it? You know, that's always a challenge with a short. That's in one location. You know, how do you keep it moving? How do you make it feel visually like the audience is traveling, and it doesn't feel like you're just cutting back and forth? Camera A, camera B, camera A, camera B. Oh, now a 2-shot. Now it's back to a single. Oh, here's a wide. You know, that's always a challenge being in one space. And that wasn't even a theater. We made a theater in the corner of a warehouse.
Oh, I figured it was, you know, at your wife's theater that she designed for, but no, you didn't shoot there.
Nope, no such luck.
You had a soundstage.
We had a set. Yeah, we had to make a set. I used to be a part of a collective that had a warehouse space, no longer, unfortunately, but we didn't know if it would work, but I'm happy to say it works. We just partitioned off a corner of the warehouse, and it looks kind of like a lobby, you know, that a play like that might be at, you know, kind of like an artsy, you know, downtown cool. Yeah, like a cool downtown space.
I totally bought it. I totally thought you were in a theater.
Oh, it's awesome.
So there was a question someone wanted to hear about. Was it an HBO show, Sean?
Yeah, the Hello Ladies, maybe.
Hello, ladies.
Hello Ladies.
Yes.
Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Hello Ladies was a unfortunately short-lived series, probably 4 or 5 years ago now, on HBO, with starring Stephen Merchant. If you're familiar with the original Office, he co-wrote that with Ricky Gervais. And Hello Ladies was sort of his first foray away from Gervais, because they had done extras together, and they had done Life's Too Short. They had done some HBO shows together, but Stephen Merchant hadn't really like found his own voice. That was his show based on his comedy special, Hello Ladies. And I was incredibly fortunate to get cast on that. It's my favorite. I've done some TV, but it's definitely way above and beyond anything. It's the only show that I would have watched. In fact, I did enjoy watching it, and then I would get annoyed when I was on it, because I was like, stop! You're ruining the show. Get out of it.
It couldn't have been as good as the 10-inch Hero.
10-inch Hero, I thought was a very good film. Actually, that was my first film. That was my first indie film, and that I played a lot of douchebags. So I played a douchebag in 10-inch Hero. I played a douchebag in Hello Ladies. I guess I have that punchable face that people want to
well, you look
cast as the bad guy.
Completely different now. You had to change your look because of that.
I know. I had to. I had to switch it up. But I recommend Hello Ladies to anyone. I think it's a really funny series. It's one season. Didn't get picked up for the second season, but they did give us a wrap-up special, which is kind of a British formula. So it went one season and then a 2-hour movie. But it's very, very funny.
Nice.
If you like British humor.
Where can folk find that? Is it exclusive at HBO, or is it streaming somewhere?
HBO. I don't know if it's streaming other places. I don't know, but it's definitely on HBO. If anyone has a HBO Max or, yeah, I recommend highly.
There's a question. Who thought up the twist in a play, or did you write the whole thing, or?
We had. I'll try not to spoil anything, but we had several iterations. We knew we wanted it to get out of hand somehow. And then we had one version where it's like thoughts in your head, like different. We had like basically like it would have been 3 shorts within one short, and it goes in 3 different directions. And then we were like, oh, that's just too many things. And then we just condensed that to one thing that basically has 3 sections in the short. I would say it kind of hits, wouldn't you say, Nino? It kind of hits like 3 different tonal shifts.
Yeah, there's like 3 shifts in it. Yes, is the answer to that.
Well, I think the question was about
why the twist?
Who thought of the twist? We all thought of it sort of organically. And
yeah, I didn't write it, but I remember shooting stuff back and forth with you guys. It just kind of developed.
Yeah, it just kind of happened. We knew that we wanted like a big finale, and how to get there ended up being what the piece is.
Yeah, sort of that QT ending. No spoilers. I think we answered, Larry, your question, why Gyllenhaal.
It's perfect that you're mispronouncing it, since I can't spell. I don't know how to spell it in the piece.
Because he had a real life experience with Gyllenhaal at that concert. Yes,
I did. Yeah.
So I've been in a few shorts. One called that we did down at Chapman College many years ago. Harold Bloom is about to die, about this guy who's in his 40s, who's still a virgin. He's never been laid, and it turns out that Cupid wants to take a holiday, and so Death takes over for Cupid while she's on holiday, and Death is determined to get this character I play laid. and causes a heart attack near death. And when he survives it, he wakes up, he falls in love with his nurse, who was played by Jennifer Siebel Newsom, the First Lady of California. It was her first film, and it was both of our first on-screen love scene. And it used to be on Spike TV, and now it's completely disappeared since she's now the First Lady of the state. But my point is, though, that short seems to have seeded another film called The 40-Year-Old Virgin just 2 years later.
Huh.
And then
Never heard of it.
I'm sorry?
Never heard of it.
Yeah, well, it's hard to find. I've got a copy. Another short I did, well, actually, various other shorts I've done have had features fleshed out, at least in script form. They haven't been shot, but I think the Gyllenhaal is a seed for a feature, like you say. I'm anxious to see.
I was at a festival in Portland for I think it was for a play, or maybe a different short, and I met the programmer there, and then my friend Helen told me about it. Like, hey, you know that festival in Portland, they're screening a film. It's called I Know Jake Gyllenhaal Fucked My Girlfriend, or something like very close to our title.
Oh, insanely close.
It was like almost the same title, and I went, this is outrageous. I called Sean, and Sean talked me down. I'm like, people are blah blah blah. And we ended up like getting a hold of him somehow. I can't remember how we reached out to him, and we were like, Sean had called me down by this point. It's like, and we was like, hey, just FYI, we have a film by the same name. Have you heard of it? It came out a couple of years ago. And it turns out he had never heard of it. He had a completely different experience with a guy whose girlfriend actually did break up with him and get with Jake Gyllenhaal. And like, it's just a complete coincidence.
Very bizarre coincidence.
Creative universe. Wow.
Right. And so we're
thinking, very different movie, totally different tone,
completely different tonally. More of a Woody Allen kind of like walking by the Brooklyn Bridge, telling a
walk and talk sort of thing.
Walk and talk, but it was just funny, like that somewhere. Yeah, you put something in the world, and it starts, it seeds other things out there,
but you can't apparently trademark a title, or you can't go after them for plagiarism.
And you know what? At the end of the day, it was, what is it worth? It's, we're all making short films and hustling and trying to get our visions out there.
If the piece had been, if it had been similar, then that may have been an issue. But it was, it's so different that it was a non-issue. It's slightly annoying that the titles are so close, because I think our title's very funny.
Yeah.
So that part's a little frustrating, but they're such different shorts, it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, completely different tonally, and yeah. So,
Sean, we have a pretty good question here. Wondering that if do you think your experience, rather, as an actor, has made you a stronger storyteller, and if so, how?
Absolutely. I say this to a lot of people. I think I certainly have limitations as a writer. I'm new to it, and I run into big blocks all the time. But one thing that I do think I have just inherently is storytelling in my DNA, since I've done so many plays, and I've mounted plays from beginning to end, where I have to learn why the character's going through what they're going through, why their big shift at some points, how to get there, how to make it seem organic. I know what it's like to have a scene really work out with another actor. It's funny, because since I've started writing, I've started noting that when I see a movie that was written by someone who's also an actor, I kind of see the difference. I see the mechanics of like a writer brain, like Nino, who's the director of Batman,
Nolan?
One of my favorite writers, Nolan, because I've heard Nolan talk about how he doesn't understand how actors do, like they're like an anomaly to him. He doesn't understand. He's just got a writer's brain. And I watch his stuff, and I'm like, oh, it kind of makes sense, because they're brilliant scripts, but they are very like cerebral. And then I'll see a writer that has gone on to make something like, I don't know, actually, I'll just say like the In the Bedroom actor Todd Fields. I was just talking about him. There's no other reason I'm bringing up this very abstract thing, but his like dialogue and stuff as an actor, you can kind of see that he knows the emotion, like he really gets the emotionality of the connection between like characters and stuff, and the emotionality of the and there's just a ton of different actor writers who I feel the same way about.
Oh yes, I helped form Los Angeles Theater Sports 30 some odd years ago, and a lot of those improvisers at that time, Sherry Bilsing, Amanda Plummer, Ellen Byron, Ellen Idelson, they all took their training of improv storytelling narrative into their writing. Sherry and Amanda wrote like 46 episodes of Friends, and then the series Joey. Ellen created Boyd Meets World. The elements that the tools they learned doing improv,
for sure,
hand in hand with the creating scripts and creating characters and dialogue. So that's something. Take note, folks. Take your improv and lean towards the narrative and not the gag-oriented improv.
Well, also another example. I won't belabor this too much, but like I did send I have a lot of writer friends, and when we were first like completing it, I sent it for feedback, and I got it a few times, but a note that I took as a huge compliment is a very brilliant writer friend of mine was like, this feels like it was written by a confident actor, because you mine so much comedy from looks and from, it's like writers don't always understand that. They're thinking of plot development, and this actor has to say this, so this other person will say this. He was like, you mine so much comedy just from like the emotionality of the character. So yeah, I think that everyone's going to bring something different, and it's all good for different reasons. But I really love watching actors who have written something, because they'll bring that kind of uniqueness to it.
And that was one of the things that Angela's performance really got me with. She said so much with such little nuance, but it was full. It was really lovely. She said, there was you said not married but happy. And when she said, what do you drink? Anything. And she was just not, she was so overwhelmed. There was some great casting, Nino. And we want to know more about like Wasted Seed, your future project. We only have a couple minutes here.
Yeah. Okay. Wasted Seed is a short in a completely different direction. It's a drama. It's about a couple who are trying to conceive sort of a tree of life kind of, a collection of vignettes where each subsequent scene contributes to the whole. So the sum of all their parts is bigger than each individual scene. And it's with two incredibly talented actors, Helen Kennedy Turner and Bamba Bamba John.
Well, we look forward to seeing that. We've got to kind of wrap it up. So I'd like to announce here at this juncture that you both have agreed to come on board as the judges for the California Film Foundation's the next the
48-hour
International Film Festival.
Yeah, the 48-hour film festival. Yeah,
48-hour film festival. You are judges
happy
this year.
Yeah, excited. Yeah, we just found out, so we're really keen to be part of that creative process.
Yeah, it's fantastic to have such talent as sort of part of the family here. We are blessed, and the actors watching, we've been blessed to have you on the show here tonight. And we want to thank, first of all, our guests. Nino Mancuso. I almost called you Nick Mancuso. Oh, there's another producer. And Sean Wing, the Renaissance guys. You're writers, directors, actors, and producers. Fantastic to have you on board. We want to thank also Jordan Globerson, our technical director, and Marty Anaya. Really, thank you. I can't thank you enough. Please come back, catch up more, and we'll take off from where we left off.
Yeah, you guys are
I-
awesome. Thanks
I
for
just want
having
to
us.
thank you, for you all, for Martin, and you, Jeffrey, for helping, just filmmakers have a voice and be out here and contribute, because this is what it's about, is being able to share our work and talk about it and collaborate with everybody. I can see everyone who's interested in the chat, and
Yeah,
it's nice to have a
real
home.
quick, are you guys on Instagram, Twitter? Where can we follow you? Where do you want us to visit your IMDb? What would you like?
Yeah. I'm on Instagram. Sean's on Instagram.
Tiny little baby boy. I make weird videos. Enjoy.
Mancuso Inc. is me. Mancuso Inc.
All right.